this is a B-29 fighter bomber, and it was built in 1944 in the great state of Kansas for some reason, and was used during the Second World War to bomb places like Berlin and Tokyo and literally any other place that is not American and is fighting against America. So this specific one was used only once, and that was during the Battle of Berlin. In the first parts of the Battle of Berlin, this is one of the bombers that were escorted by fighter jets above Berlin to drop their loads. So down there's a little hatch. That place would automatically open if there's a button that was pressed, and with that, the overload of bombs would just come collapsing out. And the bombs, when they started falling out, what would happen is they come right above the ground, and then they explode, sending smaller bits of the bomb flying everywhere, called shrapnel. In some cases, they would drop bombs that exploded to unleash smaller bombs which will then destroy apartments, cars, streets, large groups of people, because that's basically the reason why these were used. Now, although it might have a machine gun there, machine gun there, machine gun there, just machine guns everywhere, although it might have bombs and machine guns everywhere, it's still not that good at fighting. As you can see, it's humongous, which means that its agility is limited. So if it tries to swerve out of the range of an enemy fighter jet, that is not going to work. It's probably going to destroy itself trying to do that. So these, in groups, they would just try to escort. They would be escorted by fighter jets, and if there are any attackers coming to try to take down this plane, then the fighter jets would go up and meet them in combat. Meanwhile, these, with their machine guns, can do their own self-defense, and of course, when they're right above their target, they can drop their overload. So again, this was built in 1944, just as World War II was coming to its close. D-Day was happening during this time, and during the May of 1945, it flew above Berlin and dropped an overload, but was injured straight there on the wing. It was nearly downed, but instead of being downed, it was returned to an American base in the coast of Hawaii as it went off course. And when it got to Hawaii, it was able to be repaired in the dock of Pearl Harbor and sent back to the United States of America for later use. And usually they would be scrapped for metal, but this one was saved for this Marietta, for this museum in Marietta, Georgia, for people to look at. Although I did break in, I'm sorry about that, but I'm gonna have to leave right now before the cops come.